What is going on, everybody? Y'all
Merry
already
Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas.
Merry Chroma,
From Pinky. Yeah,
Feliz Navidad.
no, you got to put that in there.
Oh yeah, it's in here. It's in here. But yeah, y'all. Hey, look, we all know we love to cut up on this show, man. So, but welcome to a special Christmas edition of the number one show in America. That is the Back Porch Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
Ain't quiet.
Yes, boy, Feliz Navidad. Boy, I tell you, it's Christmas Day, boy.
They heard the bells on Christmas Day.
Yes, boy. They said Santa Claus coming through there, but I don't know how that fat bastard gonna get in the house. But anyway,
I seen Mama kissing Santa Claus.
Michael Jackson said he gonna tell Daddy. Now you tell Joe Jackson if you want to. Oh, so we did the law time.
The views and opinions expressed are not of Fonz, Quan, or Back Porch Sports Podcast. Viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised.
No, I don't advocate for that type of stuff, that Joe Jackson stuff. Even though he did, get at them and they became famous.
I want somebody to beat me into becoming a billionaire. That'd be nice. I've been happily taking them whoopings.
I take it. I just don't want the consequences. Mike left here looking like anyway. So welcome to the show.
It's all skin and bones. Poor Mike.
oh, Michael. I remember when they had a nose like mine. But anyway. Yeah, oh, Michael.
No matter where you stay.
Stupid. How we jump from Michael Jackson to Lou Rawls, man? I know where we jump from Michael Jackson to Lou Rawls, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's Christmas. But yeah, y'all, again, welcome to the show. And we want to send a special Christmas shout out to everybody that's watching this show. A lot of people make Christmas about gifts, but I feel like it's more about family. So, hug on your loved ones, the ones you still got, and remember the ones that you lost, and remember them in a positive light.
Right.
As always, if you are on Facebook, how about going to the Back Porch Sports Podcast War Room? Like I always say, we always there, always posting crazy stuff and whatever. And please, if our content is good for you, if you like what we're doing here, just hit that subscribe button. And the ones that's already subscribed, tell somebody. Don't let us be the best kept secret.
Right.
This ain't Escape. We can't be everybody a little secret, but we're going to go ahead and jump on into the topic. So Christmas Day, I don't know why the NFL put these games this close together. I know why. It's about the money.
Yeah.
But technically, Christmas Day games are basically a remix of what happened this past Saturday. So let's go ahead and go into it. So the first game is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't know what to expect of that game.
Well,
I let you them your boys. I let you did start it off. I don't know what to expect.
well, looking at it from a statistical standpoint, I think we both know that Kansas defense is for real, as well as the Steelers defense is for real. And I think it'll come down to who could stop the run and also run the ball well on the offensive side of the ball. Because in the NFL, the Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs are top defensive teams against the run. So I really think it's going to be a dogfight between the Steelers and the Chiefs. Defensive one, I believe. As we know, well, we don't know yet, but we're going to see how well old Patrick Mahomes' ankle bone is, whether they you know, uh, ready to go out there and play, or will he miss? It still remains to be seen. But either way you look at it, you're playing one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the NFL today. So you got to come on with the come on. And yeah, I think this is it's going to be important to be able to stop the run. Of course, with Pacheco, I believe he's one of the heartbeats to this offense, especially when they can run the ball effectively. I believe he definitely allows a lot of other options with D Hop and, of course, Travis Kelce and Worthy out there as well. So I think, that'll be their bread and butter, especially playing in Pittsburgh late December. You want to be able to run the ball effectively. So that's one of the key points for the Chiefs, as well as the Steelers on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, as we know, the Kansas City Chiefs, I believe they got most of their eggs together, not cracked too bad. They haven't been the best offense that we have seen this year, but I don't think they're the worst team that we have seen. I mean, still to this day, they still lie at a nice ranking offense. As far as the Steelers go, I think, well, we need to, over the past 3 weeks, we've been struggling in the red zone, and that's going to be important, especially playing against Patrick Mahomes. We cannot continue. I mean, I know Chris Boswell is great, probably one of the best in the NFL as a kicker, but we cannot depend on 3 points here and there to beat Kansas. We need 7, and we need 7 completely. And I don't mean Big Ben number 7. I mean 7 as touchdowns and not field goals. We need to be able to score points, y'all. This game should hold some type of weight. I don't quite know yet, but this game should hold some type of weight to the playoff seeding and da 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 da. So I expect y'all to play as such offense as the team who struggles when number 14 is not out there. We need somebody, Calvin Austin or Van Jefferson or doggone Pat Firemuth, somebody need to do something and do something quick. Hopefully, Mike Tomlin and Art Rooney have thought about bringing Sierra out there, because I believe Sierra is great motivation to a lot of males, but really to really to Russell Wilson. Uh, hopefully he can be able to focus, and hopefully she give us some extra motivation, because I need Dangerous to be present while facing this cat. But I say all that to say, I really think it's going to be a defensive game. Honestly, we'll probably see Kansas possibly putting up 28 points, possibly at the best. Against us, just depends. But I really feel like starting off, I think it's going to be a slow start for both teams, just because of how fresh and how relentless their defenses are. And then around the second half, the windows of heaven will open up and pour somebody out a blessing. I don't know who's receiving it, but you ain't been paying your tithes, it's on this day for a blessing. So, yeah.
Well, so this is my take on that game. That game is an enigma, simply because the Steelers is gonna be coming off that hard fought game in Baltimore, and we all know what happens after Ravens Steelers, and it being it's such a short time period between games. That's like the main thing that's really concerning me about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I do agree that particular game is going to be a defensive slugfest, because both defenses are actually pretty good. However, It's going to come down to which defense breaks first.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the key. And if I was a betting man, I would say I really think Pittsburgh's defense is going to be the one to break first. Simply because that secondary with Joey Porter Jr., let me tell you something about Joey Porter Jr. He get away with a lot back there. Yeah, he's a little grabby.
Yeah.
And I see some, not saying it's going to happen, but I got a feeling it's going to be a stupid pass interference call that's going to really break that defense. It's going to take the defense out of rhythm and possibly lose that game. I don't see Kansas City scoring 28. I see this being like a 17-20 type game. Just based off both offenses and both defenses. I mean, they're pretty much carbon copies of each other. But yeah, I see it coming down to the wire. Hopefully it does not end on a stupid call from the referees. I hope they let the Cats play.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most important key factor for the Steelers is to do like we've been doing all season, but also be aggressive at the same time. And what we've been doing all season is maintaining possession of the football.
Yeah.
We want to be able to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline as much as possible. And I believe that comes from just, hey, I need Arthur Smith to pull out that whole doggone playbook and go from A to Z if you got to. Because I don't want Patrick Mahomes to get the ball too many times, because the more he gets the ball, the more trouble he makes for us to be able to win the game. So yeah, man, just run the ball as much as possible. Make it a third and manageable game. You ain't got to go for the deep ball all the time, but just hey, if you got to burn the clock, burn it. Just burn it and get up out of there, because
that is solely dependent on your running game.
We can't depend. We can't. And listen,
you got to establish the run for us to be able to matriculate the ball down the field.
And I encourage our coaching to really consider using Justin Fields just a little bit more for our run game, just because of the unsuccessfulness of our run game with Russell Wilson at quarterback. As we know, Russell Wilson is old age. He's about 40 in a few years, and he got his 1-2 step wife and everything. But he ain't gonna 1-2 step out the pocket. So we need to create more, and this is just in general, man, because I understand we may be wanting to stay within a certain percentage of snaps for Justin Fields, just so that 4th round pick or 6th round pick won't turn into a conditional 4th round pick, whatever. Neither to here to say we need to give defenses more to worry about. And with Russell Wilson at quarterback, they ain't worried about the man running out the pocket or that read option. With Justin Fields, it creates more because we know he's an athlete on his feet. And it just creates more for the defense to be able to cover. So let's consider that, man, because they Andy Reid, you already gonna be sort of out coached anyway when it comes down to offensive plays, because they're gonna be pulling stuff out the bag. So you go ahead and pull. They pull a rabbit out the bag. You pull a doggone the groundhog out the bag if you got to. Hey, do what you got to do to win the game.
That's it. That's it. Hey, y'all heard him. So we're going to go to the next game. The next game involves Baltimore at Houston. The key to Baltimore winning that particular game is, establish the run. Establish it early. I know you're trying to keep Henry and Hill to keep them all straight for a playoff run, but no. You got to get there. And this is going to be another game that's going to be dependent on seeding and how things finish out. Run the ball. And Lamar, just do what you've been doing on your MVP track. MVP years, make them pay. If they want to put 8 in the box, make them pay down the field. Simple football. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
I am concerned about Houston receivers versus the Ravens secondary, though. While the Ravens defense has gotten better in the course of a few weeks, which is an amazing turnaround, I just don't know. It's not the whole secondary. It's just pieces of the Ravens secondary that I'm very concerned about. And that piece is Brandon Stevens. To me, when it comes down to being in place and being there around the ball, he got that skill. His only problem is that he doesn't turn his head around. When he doesn't turn his head around, he see the receiver getting ready to go for the catch. He starts panicking. He gets handsy, and that's when you get the PI. That right there, in a nutshell, is one of the things that I'm concerned about. So if Baltimore, I mean, now don't get me wrong, C.J. Stroud, he's not what he was last year. Nowhere near. He was rookie. I think he won rookie of the year last year. He's not at that particular level as far as I've seen this year. So you have a chance. Houston, get the ball to your receivers. you going against a secondary that just got better. Mm-hmm. So you get to exploit some weaknesses in that secondary. Of course, establish a run with Joe Mixon. Get him going. And you could possibly win that game. But if I could pick a winner, I will pick Baltimore just because I'm a homer and I don't really care. But, yeah, I got Baltimore winning that game. But, yeah, you can take it now. I don't know.
Well, the first thing I want to mention is that fine Beyonce will be there for the halftime show.
That is facts.
I'll be there sitting in the TV with my 3D glasses, looking. But anyways, I think
3D glasses on a 2D TV. Good God!
I thank God for the iconic Beyonce. Yeah, that's her hometown. So we gonna see. Know that I love you until the end of time. Anyways, nevertheless, get back to business here. The Texans and the Ravens. Well, here's my thing. Texans is, I believe, number 10 against the run. And they got that Derrick Henry, who was one of the best signings of this offseason, the best plug-and-play player that they could have signed in the free agent, nevertheless. So I expect Baltimore to use Derrick Henry as much as they need to use Derrick Henry in this game. And, I know they number 10 against the run or whatever, but this is going to be one of those type of games where I think it's as long as the game go, the better Derrick Henry will be. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they'll use him properly against the Texans. And, the Texans, they've kept their head above water, with the loss of Stephon Diggs early on, with questions here and there about C.J. Stroud and his transformation from year 1 to year 2. Mm-hmm. They still managed to be in this situation, a playoff contention, and playing against, Super Bowl caliber or Super Bowl favorite Baltimore Ravens. It is going to be very intriguing to see the Texans offense versus the Baltimore defense with all of those weapons that they do have at their disposal for C.J. Stroud. I think the main key factor for Baltimore is, using that Kyle Hamilton to the best of their ability and causing some pressure on C.J. Stroud. That's what I would like to see, because with the level of receivers that he does have, I wouldn't want to give him all day. I'm not saying do zero blitz, but I'm saying you need to get home and you need to make him uncomfortable in the pocket. Whether that's pass deflections at the line of scrimmage or whatever. I think disturbing his pocket will, eliminate all the other distractions that the corners and everything got to guard at receiver.
Right.
Um, Offensively for the Ravens, like I said, run the ball, man. They got playmakers at their disposal in a lot of different areas: tight end, receiver, quarterback, running back. I just think their offense is well put together as far as being able to. You should be able to put up some points against this Texans defense. I mean, it's not something that I would lose sleep over. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll play out hard, but I just get a flashback of what happened last year in the playoffs and how y'all just stumped them with 34-10, I believe, last year. And I don't see any way where they could potentially upset the Ravens on this. So I expect the Ravens to win this game. But I think it'll sort of be a shootout maybe early on in that game, possibly. Just depends on how, because honestly, the Baltimore, like you said earlier, Baltimore defense has improved earlier this season. The secondary was bad. They was, the defense was just bad in general. They was, allowing teams to make it a game late on when they didn't need it to make it a game in the fourth quarter. That could be scary, but I don't know, man. After that first Pittsburgh game, I've really seen a change in the Baltimore's defense secondary. Maybe drunk their milk, got up and drunk some egg yolk for the last few weeks. Yeah. So I really don't think it's gonna be a close game. I'm taking Baltimore probably 2010. Baltimore, they should win by 10 plus points, probably. I don't know, man. The defense is superb. Especially, with Roquan Smith, something special. And then with CJ Stroud, man, I just don't think his defense matches the Ravens for defense. So I'll just say that. But yeah, we shall see. But I definitely think Baltimore win this game. No shot at the doubt. With or without Beyonce being there.
But a stat that I just found out that's going back to the run game of the Ravens. Derrick Henry, he was in that same division for some years. And in 14 games, he has 1,431 rushing yards with 12 touchdowns against the Texans in his career.
Yeah.
So I expect a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. We need, at minimum, he need to get the ball at minimum 20 times.
Right.
Maximum 25.
I mean, I expect also, Lamar's going to throw the ball some just because of the climate y'all going to be in. Y'all going to be in Texas. It ain't cold in Texas. I believe Texans got some of a semi-dome. So it ain't going to be that bad. So, I expect a little bit from Lamar, too, from a passing standpoint. I'll say run the ball with Derrick Henry at least 15 to 25 times at least within that range.
Just my little pushback on that though is that if Derrick Henry take over the game, Lamar just you hand the ball to him. Just get to him. ain't no sense of breaking it up trying to be cute when you were winning, churning out yards on the ground.
That's true too. I mean, if he doing his thizzle, let him do his thizzle. But yeah.
I mean, but in the comments, let us know what you think about these games. The first question is: do y'all think that the NFL is doing too much by having all these games back to back?
I'll speak from a fan. Yeah, y'all want somebody to get injured. That's what you want from. You want somebody to end the season and everything because you got all these games within. I mean, are the players even resting? Are you thinking about that? Somebody could have got hit upside the head last week, and now they got to play a game 2-3 days later. And then I mean, just human brutality is what America likes, and they don't care. Like Michael Jackson said, all I gotta say is that they don't really care about us.
That's what he said.
I just think it's a bunch of bull drive, to be quite frank. Especially for the team. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
yeah, go ahead.
Being that a lot of these games got playoff strings attached to them with the seed and everything. So you just trying to get somebody to hiccup on something. So you know what I mean? I tell you, man, they get underneath your skin with all this nonsense. Then next year they'll change 1,001 rules. But yet you want to have 3 games in 11 days. What type of stuff is that? What are you trying to do?
And the only way they justify it is that they use the same teams. I'm like, first of all, that's another show for another day. Because I'm like, you can't put Ravens Steelers on Saturday and then turn around Wednesday. Ravens go on the road to the Texans. First of all, that Ravens Steelers game is physical.
Right.
There's a lot of physicality and brutality in that game. So
both teams are pissed off to the highs of festivity.
I'm trying to tell you. Shout out to Robin Harris. To the highest level.
I'm trying to say so. I mean, I don't understand. But I guess the fairness is, like you said, all the teams are facing one another. I believe Kansas faced Texans Sunday as well. So, I mean, everybody is in. We got 4 teams all in the mix together. But that, I mean, that don't make it right. 2 wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah, and 2 rights don't even make a left. But
I'm trying to tell you
but let us know in the comments what y'all think, man. But I guess we can go ahead and call it right here. So, like we said at the top, thank y'all for tuning into this show. I almost forgot before we got off. We actually have another venture, and it's called The Man Cave. So I want y'all to search it up on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe. First video drops in a few days. So y'all be there or be what?
Square.
That what it said. Sound like that dude from Mortal Kombat, man. But anyway.
Fatality. Finish him.
So wrong with this dude, man. Also, if you're on Facebook, hit us up in the war room. Let us know what you think. And also, please subscribe to our channel. Help push us out there. So, because I feel like we do pretty decent content. And if y'all go ahead and subscribe, there's a lot of y'all watching and not subscribing. But if y'all go ahead and subscribe and like it and everything, it'll push this content out and, it'll help us because we on a mission. I told y'all last video, we're trying to get that YouTube money. So, cash rule everything around me. But anyway.
Ain't buttercream. It ain't no other type of cream. It's just money cream.
Man, we gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Y'all have a safe, happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. And this has been the Back Porch Sports Podcast. Hey, man, this has been the Back Porch Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
Quan.
We out, man.